The communication context that most interests me is interpersonal communication. I know this is probably one of most people's communication context of choice, but interpersonal communication is such a broad topic and involves more intimate conversations than within a group or of society. Interpersonal communication is any conversation between two people, whether it is friends or family, more formal, between bosses and employees, or even doctor patient conversations. There are just so many examples, but there are lots of different directions you could go when researching interpersonal communication. Nonverbal communication is something that I would like to research and I am interested in. Nonverbal communication is just as important and says just as much as when you are physically speaking. Body language and facial expressions while communicating give more expression and emphasis to the tone of our words, as well as directions or signals to where you do not even need to speak. My research question for this topic would be: is it possible for two people to interpersonally communicate just through nonverbal communication without words? In formal settings such as businesses, interpersonal communication can tell the other person a lot about you based on the vocabulary you use and the sentence structure. A person can judge what they need to based on that about you. Say I am going to a job interview and the boss is interviewing me. By the way I am speaking and answering the questions tells my interviewer, my boss, that a lot more information than just what I am actually saying. Whereas in an informal setting with your friends or your family, interpersonal communication is much more intimate and is not really needing to read the person you are talking to in that setting. My research question for this topic would be: what interpersonal communication skills make us more appealing to future employers? Another topic that I am interested in is researching something more personal in interpersonal communication, and that would be communication between siblings. Siblings always have a bond that they cannot have with anybody else. I know my sister and I have a special bond and can tell each other anything. Siblings get to choose how they speak and communicate with each other, whether it is yelling and arguing at each other or whispering to each other and giggling in their ear. There are also siblings who do not have the best relationships or don't even communicate at all. My research question for this topic would be: what is the difference between interpersonal communication and between connected siblings and estranged siblings?